Well, welcome to the Invertebrate Kingdom. So, as I've mentioned, the kind of inspiration behind it. So, when you get a pack, you'll have 4 types of resource, and then you'll have 12 invertebrate cards. We'll come on to the multiplayer later on. So, this is the kind of setup that you'd have for playing 2-player. I'm going to talk about these extra cards at the end for the next level, so it's like the top tier of playing the game. But for now, I'm just going to concentrate on the basics. So, like I said, you've got 12 invertebrate cards. So you're going to shuffle these. Let's pretend they're mixed up, and we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so we've got 6 in each pile. Obviously, you don't look at when you're shuffling them. You then got a pile each to give to each player. So that's player 1 and player 2. You're then going to shuffle these randomly. You've got 2 sunshine, 4 habitat, 4 food and 4 water. And you're going to mix these up however you like. Just make sure that they're kind of evenly mixed up. And this is the kind of the testing phase of testing how best to basically dish out these resource cards, because I've tried a number of different methods, and it's up to you to evaluate to see which works better. So we've randomly shuffled these. We're going to make 2 piles, and so there should be 7 in each pile, and then you're going to put the piles out on the deck, or sorry, on the table, and then once you've done that, each player looks at their cards, so they're going to have a look through, and they're going to have a look through what special abilities that each card's have got. And then you're going to kind of decide when you're picking these resource cards, which resource cards you want to power up to 2 players' special abilities, because that's how many resource cards there is. There's enough, 7 each is enough to power 2 insect special abilities. So, okay, so we'd be like, I go first, I pick that habitat, next player, well, there's 2 food, so, and then it kind of carries on, and you can pick either pile, it doesn't really matter. So you'd be like, okay, actually I want food, I'm going to take a sunshine, and so on until all of the cards are dished out and evenly distributed. So you could end up losing out maybe because you potentially want both the sunshine cards and the other player picks the sunshine cards, and one of the cards in the packs needs 2 sunshine. So, it's that kind of, there's only a limited amount of resource in the game. And obviously that's the point. The point is there's a limited amount of resource in the Invertebrate Kingdom, so you're not always going to be able to power those invertebrates that you might want. Some people have said maybe there should be more resource and it should be kind of unlimited, or it should be where you can kind of pick it as much as you want, but just for two insects. So there is kind of an infinite amount, but you just pick enough for 2 insects, and all these different things. So it's kind of, this is the development stage of deciding. I mean, for me, I think that the limited amount of resource works, but whether that works in gameplay to keep people keen enough to carry on playing, that's a different matter. So it'll be up to people to decide on that by evaluating it and completing the survey. So we've picked our resource, we've got our decks, and then we should end up with kind of a pack of invertebrates and obviously a pack of resource cards each player. And obviously it's important not to show. I mean, you're going to see who's picking what, but you kind of keep it a secret because it'll be to your advantage. So the next stage is basically to battle it out. So flip a coin, decide who goes first, whatever you want to choose, and it's without even considering using the resource yet. I'm going to show you the basic gameplay. Now I've shown you how to basically collect your cards and begin. So I'll go first. So I decide through my pack, I'm going to always attack first, whoever goes first. So I'm going to decide maybe to go with my real high card, 7 attack. So I've got 7 attack. Now it's up to player 2 to use their armour. So we're just, at the minute, we're focusing on those 2 numbers. So I've used the attack number, which is 7, And now player 2 needs to get an armor number that's higher than 7 or equal to 7. So if I flick through these, I have a Hercules beetle which is equal to 7. So it goes 7, 7 draw. We then consider the last number, defense, which is also a draw, but it would be whoever has the higher defense number would win. And if it's a complete draw, as it is now, these get frozen and we play the next round to determine the fate of those 2 sets of cards. So let's play it out. So player 2 gets to go first this time. So player 2 decides to got a 6 attack, so going for the high cards. Again, it's up to your strategy. You might want to just kind of have a plan of what you're going to use first rather than going for your top cards in case they get beaten. So a 6 attack. So it enters the battlefield, and then we're going to go now see if I've got a card that's higher than a 6 attack for my armor, and I go, yeah, okay, I've got a 7 armor, so 7 armor beats 6 attack, again, just those 2 numbers, and I win, so I get my card back, which is the ant, so I get the ant back, and the Hercules beetle and the scorpion fly go in the discard pile. So they're actually player 2's 2 cards down now. So that didn't really work out in their favour from the beginning. So that first round when it was a draw, maybe it would have been best, rather than draw, it would have been best to kind of maybe, I don't know, sacrifice an invertebrate or maybe some other different strategy. So already player 2's down. So player 1 gets his cards back and against player 2. And now we're basically going to battle it out again. It's my go again, so it would be attack. So I could go with the ant again, which is higher, or I could maybe give player 2 a bit of a fair chance and go for a 5 attack with my 12 spotted skimmer. So round 2 is my go. So I'm going to go give the player 2 a chance this time. So I'm going to go for a 5 attack with the 12 spotted skipper. And then comes into the battlefield, and then it's up to player 2 to use their armor. So it turns out now I could probably use my armor and absolutely destroy it with the ironclad beetle. So ironclad beetle comes in, that loses because the armor's higher, and this goes back into my hand. So there's the kind of basic mechanics of whether it's a draw or you're just concentrating on those 2 numbers. So attack has to be armor, and if it's a draw, it goes to defense. Now you'll notice that obviously there's writing at the bottom of the special abilities, and then this is the next kind of tier to the game. So the basic level of it is for anyone who's not really played games before. It's just those 2 numbers back and forth. But you will find that playing it that way, there might be a few where they kind of one of them's better than the other, sort of thing, because the numbers have been designed to be used as special abilities. So